As we go more and more into the debauchery and the calamity that's happening in this country and in this world, we see more and more people concerning themselves with preparedness, general preparedness. We see the uh, natural disasters, we see the inflation, and we see the wars that are taking place. And, as a person that has been preparing now for a decade now, I must say that I've been in the preparedness space for about a decade. So, and I've studied a lot about, homesteading. I've studied a lot about, what it takes to, uh, deal with water, what it takes to defend, what it takes to coordinate, what it takes to, what kind of food you should be storing. And I talk about this over and over again. But one of the things that I've also been able to, clearly understand is a prepared person from an unprepared person. And I can size somebody up real quick. It doesn't take too much long to really just listen to a person and just watch, because I'm big on watching what people do. People can say anything. People can say anything, but you got to watch what people do. Uh, and a lot of people, they're just fork-tongued devils. But uh, you got to understand something. Preparedness is not something that you arrive at in a week or a month or even a year. It takes many years to be able to move on a piece of property, develop that piece of property, develop and learn how to grow food, develop local relationships, develop skill sets. There's learning curves to all of these things, and I've told people over and over again, uh, you need to get around and you need to spend some time in visiting uh, homesteads that are in your area so that you can learn. But you know what the truth of the matter is? You're never going to really learn until you're on a piece of land and you're going through those trials and tribulations, you're going through those peaks and troughs, you're going through those learning curves yourself. And that's just the truth. I mean, that is just an actual factual truth. So just because somebody has just moved, and Michael Rupert, one of the premiere videos or documentaries I've seen that woke me up to the knowledge of the truth was a video or a documentary called Collapse by Michael Rupert. And one of the things that he talked about, and I'm going to just paraphrase it, that people think that they're just going to run to the country, and they're safe, and that's just not the truth. That's just not the truth. It takes years to learn how to successfully plant a garden in that geographical space, using that soil, learning how to gather the resources from that particular area, to learn how to amend the soil, to learn how to grow food in that particular place. It takes years to take some sheep and put them out in the field, and making sure that you know how to uh, do pasture rotation, set up your fences right, learn what kind of weeds and stuff that they can't eat, learning the temperament of your animals. It takes uh, some time to set up chickens and learn how to teach them how to forest locally if you don't have any feed, because once my chicken's up and running, I don't feed them anything besides chicken scraps. I let them free range. Learning if you have wolves or coyotes or something in the area. All of these things are factors that go into learning and being self-sufficient. It's not something uh, that you learn overnight. How to run a business. It's amazing talking to people. They don't know how to run a business. They may have skill sets, but they don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to successfully run a business. I can tell just by listening to them. But these things you just don't learn overnight. No, you don't. It takes years to develop these skill sets, let alone working with groups of people, it takes years to do that. All of this concept of, people just run into the country and thinking that they've arrived just because they're there, it's a lie. It is an actual factual lie. A lot of people are going to simply put, they're going to fail because of this simple reason. Uh, of the simple fact that it takes time. It takes time to learn these things. You got to have boots on the ground. And it's not something that you're going to learn in 3 months, 6 months, or a year. It takes a couple of years to learn all of these little dynamics. Where's your water at? How to forage water? Um, uh, all of these things, and people don't talk about this a lot. They think that just because they just moved on a piece of property that they've arrived. I know people, personal, that has been on land for years now. And if something happens, let's just say they're just there and they're just in a safe area, they're done for. They are done for. I can attribute this to homesteads and communities. Done for. Done for. Why? Poor leadership. And don't know how to do these things. Don't know whether it's an individual or collective, how to go about doing these things in an efficient and effective manner. It's sad. But these are the things that you need to understand when it comes to self sufficiency. Certain things take time, and you're just not going to get there just because you packed your bags and you moved geographical locations. These things need to be developed, and it takes many, many years to do these things. And me personally, uh, you looking at what's going on, I'm looking at this port strike. These people need to go back to work. They got paychecks. They got rent. They got mortgage. They can't afford to be off work for extended period of times. I don't care. And I personally know longshoremen out of the Port Elizabeth where I used to live in North Newark, where I had a house and a rental property. But hey, these people got to work just like everybody else. So I don't foresee this thing going on for a very long time. They'll cut a deal because they got child support payments, they got food that they got to put on the table, they got uh, rent and mortgage that they got to pay, they got a lifestyle that they got to maintain. This is all that's going on. This is just all the truth. So you need to understand the larger dynamics of all of these things. It takes time to prepare. It takes time to learn the land. It takes time to learn animal husbandry. It just doesn't happen just because you plopped on the land and just says, "Yeah, I'm here," and everything works out fine. This is a myth. This is a fantasy, and unfortunately, a lot of people, they're literally going to lose their lives because they believe in these lies. But stay focused, and like I said over and over again, real skills, real assets, real friends. That's what's going to get you by. And of course, a real relationship with the Most High Yah. Um, because the blessings are real. You know why? Because I live it. Shalom.